That's another stream date. We got 3 stream dates today. Hey, we got another stream date. Why is my computer acting bad this time? So yeah, I just want to leave my computer to rest for a little bit. Maybe we'll come back in another 1 hour. Yeah, for another for 1 hour we'll come back into the stream. Although we'll have the stream a little bit short today. Yeah. Although I could just leave it rest like this. I think the temperature will come down pretty soon. Oh, we'll see though. Like I guess the hardware is getting stressed, right? Today episode's very scuffed. Hey, Openage Death! Good to see you. Why I'm struggling like this. But hello. You're watching on Twitch, so I think we'll scratch YouTube in today's episode, guys. Yeah, I could give you 10 more minutes because I'm struggling myself too. You know, we could have some fun today, at least. While our YouTube is struggling like this, I think we'll just leave the YouTube stuff behind because, well, when I get a blue screen of this, I could just reload my Twitch fine, but for YouTube, it will get separated into different parts. So that's the problem, right? I kind of want to leave my computer temperature to lower down a little bit though before we begin streaming something today because there seems to be a little bit of a blue screen of death. I think it's mostly related to temperatures. But before we talk to you, Openage Dev, since we have someone to talk about, and I don't happen to like to talk to myself a little bit like this. Although I would talk to myself if only I have something to interact with, you know. But before that, we will do something like this. We will watch this video because I do find that this video is a little bit interesting.
Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. It is time for some old school Maplestory, but with a twist. But first, which server should we actually...
Hold on, is the audio fine to you? Although I need to launch my virtual avatar, right? But I would avoid doing that right now because, my computer's heating up.
Pick. Oh man, there's so many. What about Kani? I haven't been there in a while. Creating our character is pretty easy, but now it's time to get our stats.
So if you don't know, everyone, this from a project back then. This from a guy who made a fan game project back then for Maplestory. Although he kind of made like different section part of the games, like with another demo, he made an entire game based on the Elinia section of Maplestory, and another demo, he kind of made the whole Elna section of Maplestory. But right now, you could say that he's kind of expanded his world a little bit as we are following it up. He kind of made the whole. As you can see, we'll go to the video, and I think this video is pretty good about Maplestory project, fan-made project like this that works in 3D, and it works like a brand new game on top of that.
I was not looking forward to
It's made by one guy, so I kind of want to promote him a little bit, and I kind of, want to watch this again.
Rolling those dreadful dice again. This is like one of those things I definitely don't miss from old school Maplestory. Rolling these stupid dice and you're clicking too fast because you've been clicking for the last 30 minutes and you miss your 4 or 12 stats because your brain is shut off completely. You're just staring at the screen blankly, clicking for muscle memory. Or trying to make a warrior and then you roll perfect mage stats. You're like, fine, I'll become a mage if that's what you want.
PC temperature.
It took forever to
Maybe
get
you
into the
go
game
down.
back then.
Maybe you go down. Let's pray for it to go down.
It's definitely not something I miss. We're back home at Maple Island. Maple how it used to be. I can read Korean if I take my time, but there is no need for that here, because I know exactly what all those NPCs want. I've been here so many times. We should be good. So in the case you haven't seen the previous Maplestory 3D videos, this is a fan game made by Ryu Russell and his team. There is a link to the original video in the video description, and I also left the download links there as well, so you can play this for yourself. They already did a ton of maps like Ilinia, Dibrium, and now they created Maple Island, Live Harbor, and Kuwait City, which I will be showing in this video once we actually make it.
I thought the 3D world kind of looks amazing, right? But I think the main character model needs a little bit of work because first of all, it's pretty inconsistent. It's inconsistent with the surrounding world and the 2D NPCs.
Outside of Maple
Island. Second of all, I think it just doesn't look that good. Because, to be honest,
it's basically old school Maplestory, so it also means everything takes just a bit longer. We're breezing to this tutorial. We eat a potion, we take some candy to Ronnie, I think he was called. Then Mia asks us to deliver a letter to the chief of...
nostalgia aside, right? I think this looks pretty cool. I think even, with the concept of our original side-scrolling 2D that got transformed into 3D, right?
Red Amherst.
It still looks... I guess the aesthetics looks pretty unique.
Man, the old school Maplestory maps used to be so big, walking around took forever. Also, can we just appreciate...
I mean, if he plans to release this game, though, I think it will get disputed by Nexon and stuff like that. It would get copyright issue for them. Oh yeah, you're at launch now. I will go to launch and I'll have a little talk with you. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah. It's alright. Okay. So yeah, what have you been doing so far on your stream? I just saw the technical problems.
Yeah,
I didn't get
technical problem today. I don't know why. Maybe because I used the computer a lot today and my temperature goes a little bit high.
Because it's too hot. Oh well. Well, yeah. Maybe Age of Empires is too demanding.
It is too demanding, although I want to try if turning the enhanced graphics mode off will be a little bit better.
That could probably work.
Yeah, it will probably work, but when I launch the game, probably it could go blue stream at any moment. My PC tends to go blue screen updates. Although I thought I got this problem fixed when I put my computer to maintenance. Just send them to the maintenance team, so they'll get it fixed. But I thought the issue got fixed, but apparently not. Maybe it kind of got resurfaced for some reason. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, maybe it's just Age of Empires.
I kind of want to change the setting and then relaunch the game again, but we'll give it a little bit more minutes. So, yeah, what is up with you today? Anything good?
Yeah, I already did all my stuff I wanted to do before the stream, so I'm not as stressed as last Saturday.
Oh,
And
I mean,
yeah.
doing your work with your tool you're developing, right?
Oh yeah. But it was not really that much, but I had to move our devlogs from Reddit to our own blog, especially the images, because the image hosting service that we were using, Imager, is gonna delete all content from unregistered users next week, and that's bad. So I had to move everything from Reddit to our own blog, and I still have to relink all the images on the Reddit posts. That will be fun, but at least the content is now safe and future-proof.
Well, that's good to hear. I think, well, you really need like a. I think you could post on both on Reddit on your personal stuff. I mean, or maybe you could create like a Reddit post and then link.
Yeah,
You could get it linked to your personal post. I think it'll be much more fun, right?
that's the plan. The only downside of this is that when you link images on Reddit and they are on Imager, or I believe from within Reddit, then some browser extensions can auto extend these images so they look like they are in the posts. And if I now do that just with images for my blog, I believe they won't show up as inline images, they will just show up as links, which is not as nice. But
yeah.
I just put the blog link in the comments or something like that, and then it will work.
Yeah, well, as
yeah.
I've worked with coding a website before, I think your website just needs some embedded images, and then when you post it as like a link, for example, some application like Reddit, for example, can decode your embedded images within the website, so it could actually render out as an image, preview image, you know.
Yeah, like that. And did you saw our main website, didn't you? But you didn't see our blog. Or did you also visit that? I think the first time I saw you on stream, you visited our website, but not our blog.
Yeah, you do have a website like this, although...
You also have a blog. Maybe I can post it in interesting links so you can see it.
Kind of want to see more about what you can offer.
The blog is different because that's I don't know what to call it. It gets generated from Markdown on GitHub.
Oh, so yeah. Is this
That's
generated from Markdown as well?
No, that's the website. That's I don't know. I didn't write this, but someone made this in 2019, I believe, and made it in HTML. Yeah, with proper CSS.
So kind of similar to
And
Markdown, or how to generate a website like this.
The blog is generated with Pelican from Python and from Markdown. So you just write a Markdown file, like normal, and then it gets put through Pelican, and Pelican generates a proper HTML website that can then be hosted on GitHub, or in our case on our own website.
I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
I think I want to turn off my model today just because I think it contributes hotness of my hardware. So let's try that. We'll try every method that we can. Okay, I'm gonna launch Age of Empires 2 now.
Again.
Pray to me that I don't get blue screen again.
Oh no, it's back. Okay. But the game image is black, and the cat disappears. Oh no. Oh no.
My plan is to, when I launch the game, I want to turn the graphic settings real down so it doesn't get
It's probably a good
too
idea.
hot, you know.
Yeah, and I think the enhanced graphics pack from Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition is still using the larger, more resource-intensive graphics too. So that could be a reason why it takes so much resources on your computer.
I mean, that is one obvious reason, yes. That is why I want to try this.
But
Although it does seem like my own recording software also contributes a lot to the problem.
yeah, streaming is probably also a reason why or what is very resource intensive. True.
It could be, but if we got another blue screen update, I guess we could refresh the stream again because I think for YouTube side today, we just leave it be. I just want to do this stream anyways. I mean, refreshing the stream is fine, but I guess it just takes time.
You mean you just want to stream on Twitch?
Yeah, if any case happens, we got another blue screen update happening.
Yeah.
Or if it goes fine, we could still archive my YouTube video.
Oh, we'll see. Maybe you'll just have to get into the scenario screen or the scenario editor. Then we'll have loaded all the problematic assets and then all will be fine. Maybe. Maybe that's how it works.
As long as my temperature doesn't reach a critical level.
True.
Right, I don't know what's up with this, by the way. Because when I use my laptop, I could use my laptop and open a lot of program and let my computer reach a certain point and that will start slowing down, you know. When in the case of my laptop, it starts slowing down and you run program a little bit slower. But for my computer, when you reach a certain point, it just blue screen update just happens. So it's kind of a weird problem that I'm encountering right now. I don't know what to say to you.
Yeah. I also don't know what to say. I'm not tech support, sadly.
Yeah, right.
Remote tech support.
I kind of want to know who's like a really good tech support and who's knowledgeable about computers right now to
well, maybe if someone's in the audience who can fix Dewey's computer remote over the internet, step right up, come into the Discord and into the launch and tell us, please.
Yeah, that's true, right? We welcome everyone here as long as they really contribute to the stream, and I just want to hang out and have fun. That is all. Yeah. At the end of the day, you can see my stream still, right? You can see that I'm painting the map right now.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. Maybe we'll play a little bit of music. No. It seems like a bad idea.
The only thing missing is your VTuber model, but I think you turned it off, right?
Yeah. It's because I don't want my things to heat up. Although a lot of people have the idea to sometimes they kind of want to put an image instead of a 3D model, so I could try that instead.
I mean, they can see our little icons. So the cat is still there, it's just static. And my logo is also still there.
Yeah, this another thing. This like an add-on that I've added onto my stream whenever I in a whenever I was in a Discord call with someone, their icon will just show up on my stream. So it's pretty fun. I think it's a pretty fun add-on.
Yeah, very useful.
It was thanks to one lady that I was collabing with called Lady Saffron.
Yeah, I don't know her. Or
I mean, it's fine, but I just want to mention her because it's all thanks to her that I have this idea. Hold on, where do I put my? There we go. We put this image on. All right. With the idea. All right. I'm doing this for the first time, so we're doing it live. You know, doing it live.
best time to do it. If in doubt, do it live. Oh,
Damn, son,
yeah.
where'd you find this? Hold on. Oh,
Yeah.
my soundboard's still working. I just want to mess with it a little bit. Do it live.
Yeah, it's visible on stream. Here, you can see it.
Hold on. Where did I put my sound?
Anime power.
You know, I had this idea before, right? But I don't really use it that much, even though it's fun. So I kind of forget how I put all my soundboard.
We will take.
Alright, maybe end up meddling around, right? For now.
We are a well-founded and beautiful.
Alright.
That's cool though. I just want to check my soundboard real quick. I think it's a fun idea, but we need to utilize it more in the future.
There it was. I just saw it pop up on stream.
I have so many ideas to add to my soundboard. It's just that I cannot even remember them all. So it's a problem. It's a problem. Gotta set it to my keyboard and then I don't remember the shortcut. You know, it's hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Although I guess we're designing this little Roman curriculum right on the past stream before, and we kind of left it off at there, but I kind of add a little bit more, if you could not tell.
Yeah, you have added more detail on the roads, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you can see that the ruins look more details to it, and you can see that there's a little bit of platform that I've been building here. Can you recognize it?
Yeah, it's the bridge, not the bridge, but a bridge in your style.
In my style. Although if you don't have like a by data mod, you cannot actually build this kind of stuff. So this is pretty cool, right? I just want to explain this. So
we see it last stream where you put a bunch of stuff together and then basically make a new scenic object.
Yeah, so these are fence rubbles, by the way, and in the default editor, the rubble units would not be in the side of the editor, but by the power of modding and by the power of my mod called Designer Dataset, you will be able to open the scenario editor and see a lot of new additional items being included including a lot of wonderful techniques like so. You can actually put rubber props together like fence props. If you don't know fence, these buildings, these walls, right? You know, put them down or so. But if they got destroyed, they will turn into like a little lumber like so. And you could actually arrange them in a style that makes some things very pretty unique, I would say.
Yeah. That's really scenic. We've discussed this last time, but it's actually looks really good. really, I think we discussed it before, but it's very detailed and very, very fitting for the stuff you make.
But I mean, enough about that, right?
Yeah.
I kind of want
Also,
to.
I've
What is
seen
it?
for regarding your mod, your dataset on GitHub. I don't know if we talked about this before, but I've seen Step S favoriting or starring your repo, your repository.
Yeah,
So it's approved by Step S.
yeah. As you don't know, as a lot of audience don't know, right? Stefan is a prominent member. I think he's a prominent member in the Forgotten Empires, the developers team. So I mean, he's the one of the official developers of Age of Empires 2, and it's kind of funny that I have some exchange and stuff talk with Step S before. You know, we often discuss things on Discord regarding about the editors, but well, it's not like it's any special, you know. I do think that I still need to add a lot more into my things because the data sets if you cannot see it, it's not really final because there's a lot of objects that are still invisible, like what's the stuff, like the boat explosion, like this boat explosion object is still invisible. I kind of want to update my data set even more, although I kind of want to wait until Age of Empires 2 developers release their Return of Rome DLCs, so I could update it after the patch, just to wait to see if they change anything, and I need to update my base on that.
Yeah, I think I don't know exactly what they're gonna do, but they've already talked a little bit about that the expansion is separate in some ways from the main game. So I don't know if you can even use the same assets or the same things in the editor then, or if you have to start up the or I mean, if they have separate editors or so. But yeah, let's see. I also don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know either, but this kind of feel confusing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to open my browser up, search Return of Rome DLC, and I will see. I can. I guess I can watch Spirit of the Law. Oh, Viet. That's one of the new Vietnamese civilization got added into
new,
Return of Rome. It's very nice.
Yeah, the new Civ. And do they get a new campaign also? Or is that just a flavor Civ? Not flavor Civ. Multiplayer Civ. Or scenario Civ?
I think it's like an update that they will expand gradually. Maybe it's like a separate game mode, right? That they will add more things to it.
Maybe I should check this out on the internet.
Hey guys, Spirit of the Light here.
I feel like if you're watching my stream right now, right, one thing that get me really confused is that if you want to play the Rome of DLCs, you need to change the game mode in the main menus. So I'm just gonna play Spirit of the Law's video here.
First definitive edition did.
Yeah,
let's jump back.
There it is. That's like a navigation bar on the left side, right? You could call it a hamburger bar or navigation bar, whatever. But in the left side, you could actually choose if you want to play the base Age of Empires 2 edition, or if you want to switch to Return of Rome. It looks like a separate game according to what it is listed here. So it is very confused. I don't know if they will get their own separate editors or not. If they do, probably they would use a entirely different data set. So I could not, just modify the data set according to the Return of Rome DLCs. So is it gonna be a separated version, or the editor's gonna be the same version or not? But we'll see, right?
Yeah, I mean it's probably gonna be separate if they do it in the main menu. Then yeah, but I don't know. We'll have to check on Thursday when it comes out.
Is it Thursday that it comes out? Really?
Thursday. What's here? Pre-order on Steam. I'll just check it on Steam. Coming May 16th. And that's on it's Tuesday actually. It's in 4 days. Oh.
Damn, okay. I guess we'll wait to see it. Although I wouldn't like to pre-order for any game, so we'll wait and see if this DLC is worth buying or not. So,
yeah. I'm probably gonna buy it on pre-order because I have to buy it anyway for Openage. But yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
I just hope they
But
they don't just do
a
lot of different stuff. Oh, sorry, I interrupted you. What are you going to say?
Well, I kind of interrupted you anyways. We kind of interrupt each other out, but excuse ourselves, right? That's our fault, and we need to improve on how we do things together. But yeah, what were you saying?
I just wanted to say that I hope they don't do so much different stuff in the engine or with the graphics files or in their data files, because when I have to reverse engineer it in the end, obviously, then that's always the most tedious task that you can imagine.
That's
because
true.
you have to for those who don't know, on the stream, the Age of Empires data is not really organized in human readable files. It's basically just a file with all the data, and it's a custom format, so you have to know the offsets and the stuff you're looking for. And you have to pass it in one single sweep so you can get all the data out. And every time they change something in the game or introduce new data stuff or things they want to reflect in their game files, the format changes, and then I think all the previous mods and everything that's come before doesn't work anymore. And for Openage, if you want to convert the stuff, you also have to I have to implement a new converter or an extension to our old converter that interprets all the new stuff. Otherwise, the conversion just fails. And yeah, that will be fun.
That
for
is
sure.
a lot of technical difficulties, from what's according to you, right?
But at least for the .dat file, I think it will be easier because they usually push it to Genie utils first. That's the library used by Advanced Genie Editor that actually comes with the game. And then I can just look it up in there and transform it for Openage. For graphics, that's a little bit different. I hope they don't do anything new. I really hope, but I'm already used to having to convert a graphics file. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll wait and see when it comes to this game. And yeah, from what you said about technical difficulties, I kind of wish for the same thing as well. I kind of want to wish that this DLC doesn't overhaul too much, because when it comes to when it comes to development, I think when you introduce a lot of system into one game, because it is one heck of an old engine, it tends to introduce bugs, right? Like spaghetti coding and stuff like that would only introduce more bugs if you include more features in the future. And yeah, I kind of want to avoid something like that to happen. Maybe I kind of want them to. Now that you mentioned it, I kind of want them to keep the DLCs to keep their new DLC content to a minimum level, so that I don't need to go through all the checks and balances when I try to integrate my mod into their newer version and stuff like that. Or if they do have an option to roll Age of Empires 2 back to an older version, I think that'd be cool as well. Because some mods are made for older version. If you could re-roll your games back to an older version, I think it will help a lot.
That would be really helpful. And for example, Paradox games already do that.
Yeah, Paradox games, yeah.
Paradox is not Microsoft, but yeah, they, at least for the major versions, you can get all previous versions on Steam. And that's really, really good, because it's the same problem there. You have some mod and then it doesn't work for the new version they release, but then you can just roll back to some older release and play it fine. For Definitive Edition, I think there's just the beta release on Steam that you can access, and otherwise just the base game, which is has changed a lot actually over the last years. There's some DLCs introduced new data stuff and the new graphics format, SLD, and yeah, it's not really nice to handle, especially with the graphics stuff, because you now have to download it via command line, the old graphics, and then edit them, because the new game still supports the old graphics, but nobody can really create the new graphics. It's not nice.
Well, what they changed their graphics style? I mean, they did kind of change graphics style at some point before, with the graphics extension being SLD instead of SLP and stuff like that, right? If I recall correctly. So I don't know if they would integrate any new stuff to that version.
That's what I was talking about, the SLD. That's the problem with that is that it's not that it's a different graphics format per se, but that it works very differently, and how do I describe this for a non-technical audience? If you how do you explain this? Basically, the old graphics format that was used in the old releases and the pre-SLD format days is a lossless format that saves all the pixels that you have on your source file to the graphics file used in Age of Empires as is. So no real loss of data, no real compression, except for the palette stuff. But yeah, and then for SLD they did a more graphics card friendly format that uses compression that is very fast to decode on the graphics card. But also this format is lossy, so you lose some of the color data, and it's more complicated to create these files or create them efficiently. And it's also the problem that the format is, for the most part, figured out, but there's no real user-friendly tool that can make these files for you. I think that's the biggest problem right now. Although Tivius, the guy who's making SLX Studio, is on it. He's started with a new version that does support SLD, but as of now, May 2023, you can't really create SLD files for the game, and you can't really extract them to normal PNGs either, unless you use CLI tools like the Openage converter or my script that I used for decoding, or some other tools. But yeah, you can't really get to the graphics files easily right now. That's the problem.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a lot more problems to the model if they want to convert their old graphics to a new graphics form, or they want to create a new graphics, right?
Yeah, I mean the official recommendation right now is to download the old graphics files, the SMX things, from some repository on Steam, and then extract them with SLX, or edit them like normal, like you would before, and then also export them to SMX like before, and then the game can still understand the old SMX format just fine, I think. But you can't use the new format in mods right now with the available tooling, which is not great.
But yeah, about graphics for now, I think like a technical term. I'm not really like a graphics designer or anything. I just know how to use Photoshop. So when it comes to,
I don't know how interesting that is, the data reversing and the graphics reversing stuff. Maybe
I don't think a lot of people will knows how it works. Neither do I really, but
maybe I should do it on our own stream sometime.
that's very cool. Do you have like a channel? Maybe I could feature you on in the future, or we could do a collab together. I think it would be fun.
Yeah, maybe. That would be actually a good idea. I'll come back to you about that maybe. But for now, streaming is very exhausting, and also a problem of getting the team together to do some stuff, and especially if you do programming or other mentally intensive stuff on stream, that's not as nice as just sitting around and watching you placing buildings on the map like I do just right now.
I mean, yeah, it is exhausting, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I feel like it's fine for me for the most part. I don't know about you, but I think depends on how you stream. Maybe you find yourself some enjoyment out of streaming, or if you consider streaming as like a work to promote your other works, for example, right? Kind of feels like a little bit draining if it's like another side hustle for you. If you plan to benefit something from it, trying to flip your mentor to think it's like a hobby instead of a work, you know?
Yeah, you're right. And I think you're probably more used to streaming than me, so for you it's probably fine.
I mean, I'm not really that used to. I just this like my this like my new thing. I only stream for like probably a year or so, and I don't really have a huge audience or anything because I don't really do things by the
only
script.
For a year. That's I think that's pretty long actually. At least longer than me. We just do stream once a year for some basic project update. We do it always at the end of the year, and that's also live, but not even on YouTube. That's just in some recording room on Big Blue Button. So it's not really public, or more like semi-public, because we only announce it on Reddit. But yeah, I think 1 year streaming is actually pretty long, and you just have much more experience than me then.
Even though I don't really have an audience. Maybe a little bit different from you, right? Maybe you do have a bigger audience than me. What I was planning to say. I think it's more like according to, I think it's more in the way of according to different people experience. It's more like that.
Yeah, I mean, you have. I think we would have about the same audience. You have 35 more subscribers on YouTube than the Openage channel.
Oh no! Subscriber count doesn't really say anything, alright? Because my audience really do come and go. I don't really like stick to a team or anything, but I will most often times change it a little bit. Sometimes I play strategy games, different strategy games like a paradox game. Sometimes I stick to my stuff like making mods and stuff like that. And some other periods of time I play other games like non-strategy games like fighting games or FPS genre, I tend to change stuff from time to time. It's not like you have like a dedicated audience like one specific channel might have or anything, because I mostly stream for fun.
And you have on GitHub at least Step as your follower, as your audience.
No, I mean I feel like a lot of people just follow each other for courtesy reason.
I mean, he doesn't follow me, so.
You don't need to feel jealous, alright?
No, just a joke.
Here's what a little funny thing that I might add. So if you don't know, I kind of mentioned to you Lady Saffron before she kind of collaborated with my channel, and she actually just started off YouTube like just probably months before, like probably 3 months she started on YouTube, and right now her subscriber count is 2,000, and her video count is way much more than me. And I don't blame her or anything, and I don't really blame her just because probably just because maybe she's being a girl, and a lot of people just attracted to, I guess, girls gamer. But I don't really blame stuff like that. Alright, I'm just saying that it could be a factor, but I can only see that games in our game it is pretty fair, and probably she just could have like a little bit of luck on her side because she was posting stuff like YouTube short and it got promoted on the algorithm, and she kind of got promoted by different people who are in a Europa Universalis 4 community, and she kind of stick to the genre. And that's a lot of factors being included in, not to mention that she might be talented. So you cannot really blame other people. Maybe they are just better than you, or they might just do things a little bit more streamlined. And maybe they invested. Maybe numbers doesn't really say anything. Maybe it's just probably there would be a lot of different factors that you might not even heard of.
Yeah, either way, it's pretty impressive if you can get an audience of so many people, even if it's just 2,000 subscribers.
Right now, I mean, I don't really have any audience, so it just comes and go, But I really do like streaming. I don't know about you. I do. It feels like I mentioned this to you a lot, but right now, I mean, you're not streaming. You're just talking with me, and we're having a conversation. So I feel like it's not really, a part of your whole ordeal. So it kind of feels like you're just talking to friends, so you don't really stress out when we do, when we do talk with each other like this, right? Unless if you try to open your YouTube channel and record a live stream together with me, maybe there could be a little bit stress involved. Maybe you don't really enjoy the audio as much as you would like to enjoy it right now. What do you think?
Well, we'd have to try. I don't know what it's like if I do try it, so yeah, I'll think about it. I don't think well, for me, I don't think the classic development stream, which we would do for Openage, would work. So would work well because coding on stream is pretty boring, I think. And if you or if we from Openage would do something Openage related, it should be at least it has to be something presentable. So something that
So welcome
you
to
can
our talk
actually understand when you're watching.
Openage, in case
and where I don't, or where JJ doesn't have to explain a lot of stuff that we're doing in technical terms. Oh, you have the video up. We have our that's our update from actually a while ago. That's from 2020.
It feels like a presentation. It's not really like a live stream like this when we hang out together.
It is a presentation because we used to do presentations live on stage. Not me, but the others did on at the Chaos Communication Congress in Germany, the huge hacker congress.
I mean, you don't know. I mean, I feel like there's some professionalism to this side of work, right? But
yeah.
Well, maybe you want to stick to this type of work and deviate from doing any some sort of fun live stream. But I do know another channel called Tech Chariot. If I can search his name, he's also Chariot. I spelled Chariot wrong. But this is another channel. Oh, in fact, he is live right now. So this there's another channel that I know also covered about Age of Empires 2 stuff, and he does a lot, but a little bit of his own project coding in Age of Empires 2 as well, mostly involving random map script, as you can see.
Yeah. I think, did I see that? No, I don't think I've seen this channel before, but yeah, it looks pretty fun. Mostly from
Just because he mostly casually I guess just play the game along with the audience and
from the thumbnails that you can see that he is in game. Yeah.
That kind of feels like me and him has something similar, like trying to. I get to most streamers, they just start streaming for fun, right? They don't really. For you, it's almost like a professional side, and your YouTube as like some kind of a job, related kind of ordeal.
Oh well, not really. It should be like that.
It's just I feel like it kind of depends on how you want to deviate it, how you want to, control it in the future. You could keep your channel as it is, or you could try to evolve it into something fun. I think some gaming channel, or I mean, a lot of developer channel also do this as well. So I could show you something like this. So this is the Wolfram official YouTube channel. Oh, YouTube channel, come on. There's a lot of Wolfram YouTubers, so I just want to show you the official Wolfram game YouTube channel. Because I feel like because they are a game developer company, right? Although most often times they do release trailers and what's going on behind the game, like behind the scenes of the development of the game, right? They also hosted some live stream like this, so they could interact with their audience, and I feel like some YouTube channel that deviate their contents so that they could have a casual side, and they will have a professional side to their business. I think it's a little bit better. I don't know about you, but I feel like it's like that for me. Even though if you're developing a game or it could be something else, maybe it would be fun to show you, your audience another different side of view, right?
Yeah, the thing is not just what do you want to do, but also how much time do you want to invest, and that's actually the biggest problem, because in the end this is a volunteer project mostly, and I can't just say, hey, let's just prepare a stream for, or make a really great video for the channel if we could use this time for actually coding purposes or something that people want to do, at least in our project. And yeah, it's I think for promotion could be interesting for promotion of the project, but it should also be fun for the people involved, the developers. And yeah, I'll have to discuss it with the others, but I think it would be interesting to do streams where we show off small progress things that are basically that are not that hard to describe, but that are very visual and very poignant, so to speak.
This your products, right? Do you have anything to say about it, or can you demonstrate it to me somehow?
that's the
Like a-
old engine,
Yeah.
which works, but it's very bad and very inefficient. And you can see that the villagers can move around, they can build stuff, you can train units and place units with like in a scenario editor with a selector. I think that's shown off later in the video. But yeah, the problem with this build is that it's just very bad and it has performance problems, and you don't see that in the video, but it's a lot of spaghetti code to make it work in the background. So all of this was scrapped, and now it's all getting better. But yeah, the
That's David face.
old video, it shows a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff works. And oh, there's Gaben. Hello.
Oh, so you can,
But
I guess, modify the
problem-
game a little bit. Maybe have a custom style editor.
yeah, I mean, all of this, what you see, is now scrapped because, or it's still in the code, but the old code paths are not used anymore because it was. It just doesn't scale and doesn't run well and is unmaintainable from a software development standpoint. So, yeah, that's
It kind
all
of feels like
getting-
you're playing like a Age of Empires 2 game, and then you can modify the
Yeah.
terrain somehow.
it looks like, and it also already plays like this in this build at least. It works like a basic strategy game, but not very well. That's just the surface of it.
Feels like it. Kind of
Yeah,
feels
you
like
can move units around.
you make
and
your
you
own
can build-
version of you reverse engineered like a Age of Empires 2 and then try to make it like a new addition to it or anything.
Yeah.
I cannot even tell how you would describe something like that because it is like a really impossible in the base Age of Empires 2 game, right?
I mean, that's what we do, and it's not impossible because we basically did it once, and now we have to do it again, but so that it actually works. But yeah, that's the plan, and the plan is not to. I mean, it's not to remake Age of Empires 2 because they already did it at Microsoft twice, but to have an engine that supports these kind of games. And that's even more difficult because you have to plan for all the weird stuff that the people that do Definitive Edition, the Forgotten Empires, they can take shortcuts and redo their engine and hard code stuff that we can't really do because it would break other games that were or that could be made on this engine. So it's very similar to Age of Empires, but more like a clean room implementation, so to say. Reimagination, or not really reimagination. It's the same feature set, but different architecture.
But it's
Like,
very what I think to me is from what it looks to me, it's still far-fetched of being done, right?
Yeah, it's not ready.
And on top of that, I mean, that's like the new definitive edition, and it looks like your version is made for the older types of graphics. So how do you convert something like that to the definitive edition?
No, it supports all kinds of graphics. The thing we do is, or the thing I do specifically is, I, together with TVS from SLX, we reversed the SMX format when Definitive Edition came out, and TVS just uses it for SLX, the mod tool for Age of Empires. But what Openage does is it converts them to normal PNG, so like a texture, and then it has its own sprite meta format. It's just plain text, something like JSON, and then you just use that in the renderer. And that works for all Age of Empires releases, and also the weird Star Wars game that LucasArts made with the same engine, the Galactic Battlegrounds, and the Clone Campaigns add-on that they made. So it does support all new releases by basically unifying all the formats into one different thing, and then it works out of the box. But more, I don't know if it's more usable, but it's definitely better to understand than their SLD format. Probably not as efficient, but it gets close.
Can you can you do something with your that integrate your client with your client? So I don't know. Still, I could not figure out what your client can do. But can you does your client do something to make it a face to face to the original Age of Empires 2 client? So perhaps if you load a random map, you could continue playing your games in Age of Empires, in the main Age of Empires 2 games or something. Or is there any types of integration to the main game that this tool can do? I don't know how to describe it, but I want to hear your opinion about that.
Well, so basically it's best way to describe it, it's an engine re-implementation of the original engine, the Genie engine for Age of Empires 2. And the goal is to have something independent of Microsoft or Age of Empires or any other strategy engine that runs real-time strategy games with the feature set of Age of Empires 2. So it's
so is the tool going to be free, or does it come with some downside?
It's free software. It's like I don't know if you've played OpenRA, Open Red Alert, or something like that.
See this place. Kind of want to make this town a little bit hilly, if you can see here.
Yeah.
But I'm lacking ideas. On top of that, I kind of want to continue with my stream a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to showcase on what part I did during off stream when I was building this whole region, and there's gonna be a lot more ideas going on to this stream on how you can basically, do you want to be a cameo, Openage dev? Do you want to be a cameo inside my map?
Depends on well, what cameo. What do you have in mind?
Well, I do have in mind that I plan to introduce the supporters of the stream some ideas for them to turn into NPCs of the game. If you don't know, you mentioned that you don't really play Age of Empires 3, right? So I might want to explain this to you.
Yeah. Go on. I'm interested.
So these are the NPCs of the game. This was implemented by Scanner Parser, and it's really easy to do because I have the code base to it. I just need to add if there's a new NPC I want to add into the game, I just need to add like a new lines of code into it. So this like an NPC. When you click on them, they will. Oh, you need to wait 20 seconds for that. But these are different NPCs of the games. We have the base NPCs from Maplestory, so you could see those are the real NPC from Maplestory. So that is Rowan, that is Betty, and there's a lot more pupils, like this guy right here, and this girl right here. So those are like the different NPC elements of the games, and basically I want to add more rather than just Maplestory reference. So when it comes to probably different supporters of today's or different streams that I might be hosting, I could include them in the future. So yeah, apart from that, I think I will add my own reference on there, so there's going to be a lot of NPCs in the future.
Ah, yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea, actually. That
And,
sounds really fun.
And if you click on them, they will ask, that's going to be like a little side quest system that got added into those NPCs. If you click on them, for example, Betty, the researcher right here, she said that she came to Elinia to hunt for exotic animals, and you need to find a golden llama for her to join your team. But I'm gonna demonstrate an easier NPC to fulfill the quotas for them. So this little guy called there's this little guy called Ronnie, and he's asking for villagers to renovate his old house. So all you need to do, just basically all NPCs of the games are fetch quests for now. Although I might add more functions to them in the future, like gameplay types. Right, I was thinking of maybe some NPCs could ask you to kill some wolves, some white animals, or some other stuff. But right now, this guy asked you to for a villager, so we're just gonna give it to them, and they will join our side. And each NPCs will have a lot of different unique elements. For example, some of them could have special attacks. So for Ronnie, I mean, for basic Ronnie, he doesn't really have a special attack. He's just a hero unit. So as you can see, if I'm kind of putting a little bit of a situation right now because Franzi is another NPCs, and you need to give him like 2 ships. But right now I'm going to demonstrate by having my Ronnie NPCs attacking a non-converted NPCs like this. And they will actually attack back. Like so, right? Actually Ronnie damage deals a lot of damage to Frenzy for some reason. But if we lure Fancy out of their original location, they will get reset back like so. And you to actually kill them, you need to stay in their areas. And if you kill them instead of recruiting them, they will actually give you bonus resources, like how it works in Age of Empires 3 with the Treasure Guardian system. If you haven't known. And yes, here's another NPC over here that I want to demonstrate because he does have a unique special attack. And I do want a lot of NPC in the future to have their unique special attacks because this is like a fantasy map, and I could toy around a lot with it. And this is Wing the Fairy, and he's asking for his lost traveling donkey. And the donkey is actually right here. So, just to, spoiler alert. We're gonna find the donkey right here. And if we give it to him, I will demonstrate his special attack to him. Although out of this moment, this map will tend to crash around 5 minutes in-game time. So you know, just a little bit of disclaimer. Oh, I just want to.
Can I ask
yeah.
a question regarding your map? What kind of side quests do you have in mind, or do you have planned?
So for now, it's just fetch quests. You just go around and find unique stuff for them. But I guess in the future I could add a little bit more diversity in terms of questing. So maybe you could have like a queue quest, you need to kill certain monster, or you need to kill X amount of monsters, or you need to be friendly to players, or you could be a specific players that they could accept you. Maybe for now I would think about it later, but for now side quest is just fetch quest. So just bring the fairy, as we just recruited him. He have a little bit of special attack like this. If you attack a certain building like this, his attack pattern will be pretty random. Sometimes he's like a magician, right? He's like a fairy, so they throw like a magical projectiles into their enemies. So sometimes he kind of throws like one fireballs or so. Sometimes he throws 2 different fireballs. I think implementing something like this is a little bit fun, because you could see a lot of units on this map are pretty unique in terms of diversity. So for example, you have the poison mage and the ice mage. A lot of different types of mage that I introduced to you before in this map. As you can see, our base is being attacked right now. But I'm gonna summon a little bit of poison mage to demonstrate this to you.
I think from
it's not just your typical Age of Empires 2, yeah, for those who are new to this mod, right? Ice mage, their unit will get dispersed and they will get frozen, because I implemented some kind of invisible unit that will spawn when their projectile hits the enemies, that will try to stop them in their tracks, acts like invisible barriers, if you can think about it, right? So yeah, that's a lot of explaining that I'm doing right now, but you can listen to it. You can see that with every attack they kind of implement some kind of special poison cloud that also damage friendly unit. Like you can see that this poison mage get damaged by their own poison cloud and enemy unit at the same time. So they're like a onager, or your typical onager or mangonel, except it's a little bit chaotic and you want to control them if you're a pro players. So yeah, that's my idea for now. There's a lot of different unique units within the game. You can see there's also Immortus. This is like a special weapon in terms of that if they attack enemy unit, their will get reduced for each of their successful strikes. So they act like a support units. You just put a siege elephant. Not a siege elephant. I would change the name in the future. The Immortus. If you put a Immortus on the front line, they will soak up the damage and they will weaken enemy units. So there's a lot to think about unit diversity on this map, and each faction of the map will have their own unique units. And there's another thing called Charanian runes that this is the new feature that I just added during off stream. So this building will generate charge from time to time. If you can see, the Charanian golem right now in this building have full charge, and you can actually do a lot of different stuff with it. Although right now you can only summon unit out of those runes. It's like a capturable areas. Maybe I will demonstrate it to you a little bit further. there's a lot of new mechanics that I want to introduce. So I don't know if you feel a little bit overwhelmed right now, Openage.
No, you showed this to us last stream, I think, some of it. I just wanted to say that it's really interesting to think about what kind of side quests you could do in this game with triggers.
Yes, actually the possibilities are endless, but I don't want to make the map that complicated to other players. So this like the ideas that I have for now.
It's already very creative.
And yeah, I was trying to explain the different capturable objectives like this. Like in the first start of the game, I just have this one bandit unit next to the runes, and if you haven't noticed the rune starting from 0, the rune is Gaia units, so you can actually capture them, or if different units that might be close to them, they might be captured. They can capture them. So I kind of have the trigger set it up so that they become like a monument types of unit. Kind of transform it to become like a monument types of unit. Although it involves with a lot of different triggers. Like there's a lot of triggers involved, so I just use generate parser instead to generate a large amount of triggers. So that's the idea. I'm gonna move into the Shiranian runes area right now.
Also might explain why the game... I just want to say that the amount of triggers might be the reason why the game crashes at 5 minutes.
Yeah, that is true, and I just want to look at it a little bit more. Actually, I kind of want to figure it out in this stream. So, yeah, you could explain more about your project while I'm working in the background. Or we could have a little bit of chit chat about different topics.
Oh no. Let's just look at your scenario a bit more, because I think that's more interesting than talking about the technical stuff.
Yeah, that's true, right? About bug fixing. It's like a very boring, so I might just do it off stream. Kind of want to figure it why that is the case. So, by the process of figuring out bugs, maybe it could be interesting, at least to me already, but we'll see about that. Right now, though, we need to kill the surrounding units. As you can see, the evil forces of this map is AI controlled, so they are not really a player. When you play this map, you need to make them AI controlled. If you kill the surrounding unit, though, the Gaia excavation site will just get converted into your unit like so. And during the process of them being in your ownership, you could see that occasionally there's gonna be a little bit of a beam of fire got fire into a tower, and it's like a charge. It's like a visual sensibility of the charge mechanics, as you can see which each sequence that the beam got fired into the tower. One charge kind of got added, and with charges inside this tower, you can do a lot of different stuff with it. But for now you can only summon units. Only if you have enough charges though, otherwise it wouldn't work. So if you want to summon a Shiranian footman, you can do something like that, like so. I kind of have the idea that the Shiranians are like some kind of ancient Roman civilization that got revived from the dead by magic. So that's the idea behind it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. You explained what I wanted to ask. Basically, I wanted to ask what's the what theme do you have in mind for your overall scenario? in what direction do you want to go? Do you want to be more RPG-like with specific units, or more adventure-like,
No,
or
it's
exploration-like?
I would say it's neither RPG or no adventures, but it would be like your traditional build and destroy map that you can play with many different players in a multiplayer lobby. Although there's gonna be a lot of special, mechanics added to it to make it feel like a entirely different game.
Yeah, for multiplayer that would be that is pretty daunting task, because you also have to balance it.
That's true, yeah. Balance it, so I guess each faction would have its weak sides and upside. Because I do have a plan to make every faction a little bit unique, so you can see that Elenia is mostly a magical civilization with fairies and magicians. So you can see that they do have a poison mage and different kinds of mage hold, right? Kind of feels like a Harry Potter's, Hogwarts, stuff like that. Hogwarts City.
So the idea is that then every player starts in their own little starting area with their own custom faction or civilization then, and then they build up their troops by doing little side quests, and then they in the end you can fight each other.
Yeah. Basically, it's like that, but there's got to be more features involved.
Yeah, that's really
it's
interesting.
Basically a fixed map anyway, so I kind of have the idea to make it look nice and make it playable at the same time.
Yeah, because last stream I thought this was, or you planned this as a single-player map, but multiplayer is a whole different story. Then.
Yeah, I mean, Playing multiplayer it's pretty fun if you have a lot of interaction between different players. It's its own fun, but although you would want to make the map fun as well, not just be your typical random map, because I've been a lot through different multiplayer servers, although I haven't built a multiplayer map myself, so I learned a lot from them. This is like one of my first multiplayer map. Actually, I kind of developed different multiplayer maps back in the past, but it didn't really got finalized also. So I do actually have a plan to finalize this project, because it could be really interesting to a lot of peoples.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know what's more popular right now, multiplayer or single player DMS, but either one would be very interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, and I kind of want to introduce you into one aspect that I added as well. Called if you have noticed back during a couple of streams, I kind of added like an effect for you. The trees, the specific tall trees in the Elenia region, the map to be choppable. Right, but it's just one tree.
Yeah, I remember that.
So you could see that trees are choppable now. And the process of streamlining this kind of process is that basically I use scanner passers, and the process is a little bit tricky. If you want me to explain it, then it's fine.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, but just one thing. Oh, wait. Yeah, Let's
But
explain
no.
it first,
Accès.
and then I'm gonna ask some questions.
Okay.
Yeah, I just, you know, in the background, I
Commencer.
kind of want to just
Zack, Bangkok.
get my size going.
Zack.
To, you know, get the villagers chop the wood. So this NPC is attacking me right now. To get them away, right? Whatever. I just leave it at that. This villager will chop down the tree real quick. Although there's a little bit of pathfinding issues at the moment. Maybe I want to get it double check. I guess it's just a lot of trees that got clumped together that it could cause some kind of pathfinding issues. Yeah, you can see that sometimes, yeah, this tree is down. So, but it's not just that, because I kind of made a scenario puzzle like this, although I don't know whether or not opening this will cause my stream to explode. So I don't want to open Python right now, if you know what I mean. It might do something real bad.
Let's not stress it too much. Your computer.
Yeah, but basically, in short, right? Oh yeah, I could show you my Discord because I do upgrade some progress in there. But yeah, you can see that sometimes, I mean, I haven't added some things like but this bigger tree is kind of special, so I didn't. So it just destroyed like a 2 wheat trees like this. It doesn't really count the 3 wheat trees, so I need to get it checked because only this tree is like very special from other trees. But I kind of that's the idea, right? I kind of make a special some kind of special classes in Python or functions in Python, or however you might call them, right? And a script, yeah, just call it a script, a Python script that allows you to detect. So this is my idea, right? I kind of put all the linear trees location onto a list in Python, and when I run that script, it's just gonna check the location, and then when it goes into one location, it will check whether or not the above tree of said location, you know, vertically, right? Vertically, we are talking about X and Y here, but vertically, if there's gonna be trees like specific trees like baobab trees, because I only make baobab trees like those giant trees, tree trunks. If they detect it, they will continue until they got all the baobab trees in a vertical lines. And when they got the entire tree mark, they will get marked, and then it will turn it will all turn into some kind of a special trees where you cannot really chop down the trunk part of the tree, right? But you can chop down the lower part of the tree sections, and it will work like so. When you chop down the entire smaller, when you chop down the entire root part of the trees, the actual tree section will go down. So I mean, it's still a very clever idea coming from, you know, the old implementation, but right now it's kind of got mass produced, so you can see that this entire tree just go down like that, and it works with every certain trees, you know, well, except for this one. But I feel like I did streamline this process, so you could see that it could work really well in the future. And not a lot of scenarios that just mind you, because I do play a lot of different scenarios back then, but my ideas of implementing stuff like this, it's kind of I think it's unique compared to other stuff that people came out with.
Yeah, essentially your what's it called in English? Your templating your structure, like your tree, with all the triggers and connections, and then streamlining that into Python, and then placing that in the scenario directly via code. Is that true? Is that right?
Yes, that's exactly how I did it.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting.
But nay, Axie.
The only question is how well Age of Empires can cope with that. Because I don't know how many triggers that creates, but probably a lot. But yeah, it is very cool.
I mean, look at it, right? The entire tree just disappeared.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of miss some areas. Like, maybe I need to fine-tune the trees at some point. Like, I miss some areas where doesn't count like tree, pine forest and so I need to remove them. So yeah, that's a little bit of bugs, but we'll get it fixed.
Yeah, but it already works kind of.
Oh, it works kind of well.
Oh,
it's not really crashing. Although oftentimes my map kind of crash at 5 minutes. Maybe I kind of tune the graphics down a little bit and I kind of fix some things.
Oh, maybe you.
That's good to hear.
Oh, I just thought it crashed. It just paused. Okay. But my question was, how do you create these trees then in Python? Because you in a past stream you showed how you made these streams in the these trees in the scenario editor, but do you just export them from the scenario into a Python class or structure and then let the script run and place them again into the scenario? So do you do some import-export with your script, or I don't know, do you directly inject into the Age of Empires Excel?
I mean, that's an interesting question anyways, but I do make those trees by hand. And it's not like what you think. It's not like that those trees are generated by the parser. As you can see, right, they already existed before I make the parser script, so you might just want to follow that.
I thought it was a bit more sophisticated, but that's also pretty cool.
Yeah, so there are existing assets onto the map, right? So what I do is that I pinpoint the location down into a Python list, and just pass them, and I just check whether or not you have some sort of special things onto the map, right? They're gonna check vertically to see if there's any special kind of a tree pattern or special Gaia object pattern. Then they might detect that there's the tree, and short example is that the script will tell you that this is the tree, and they will just mark the entire areas down to be a trees, and to make them untargetable except the roots. And if you destroy the root, the entire trees will go down. Yeah. That's only the idea that I've given to it.
The real manual work you still have to do it yourself, but the Python script then does the trigger assignment.
Yeah, it does help. It does help a lot because to mark those to make those triggers manually for each tree is like a really daunting task. And for machine, for a script or machine to create this sort of stuff, it's kind of a really automated process, and most often times, there are failures, but it will be most often times market areas a little bit more accurate compared to a real person, obviously. For now, I need to change the unit AI of evil forces, so they could be frozen in places, not like they want to move around and attack like a real player like this. I don't really like them to do so. For them, they're just immobile AI.
Yeah.
So they would just got their unit standing around doing nothing unless you move into their location. I don't want them to act like a real player or anything. So I guess I just put it to none. Glad that the map didn't crash when I switched to standard graphics, by the way. I guess it has to
Yeah,
do with it.
maybe that's the key to success, or the 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 final fix. Or maybe it just crashes 10 minutes in and not 5 minutes in. That has more resources to spare for triggers.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of running my computer on the edge right now, so I want to limit all things as possible. So might be it might be involve something within the computer itself, CPU
can
itself.
you estimate how many triggers your scenario creates or contains?
Oh, it will be a very varied, because when it comes to parser scripts, what it tends to generate is that you can see that there's a lot. You see that? I'm going through the list right now.
Oh my god.
So
Okay,
you cannot,
so maybe
really identify how many triggers that it might be in the futures. There might be more.
looks
but
like 500 or so, or maybe more. That's already a lot. Okay.
It's like 800 now, so sort it out, right? 800 or so. But
Yeah.
with that out of the way, yeah, that's a lot of different. Oh, my friend is just messaging me on Discord. Let's just see what are we going to talk about. Oh yeah, new NPCs. We'll go through it in the future. Do you have any opinion first of all?
About NPCs, or
Oh, I was thinking that you might be saying something.
no, I was just listening to you. So I just enjoyed hearing you talk.
do think about the NPC's idea, by the way, because I do want you to be like a cameo in this map. Maybe act like an NPC, individual NPCs, right? So first of all, you need to think about which unit that you might want it to be. So do you want to be like a badass and need to roll up on different pupils, and if a player encounter him, he might be hostile? Or do you want to be like a brave hero who want to rescue a princess or so, but he's asking for your help? Different ideas you might be having. Please do leave it.
Can I choose anything, or anything that is possible?
Yeah, you can choose within the boundary of the game, which there might be no boundary right now, I must say.
Well, I was just thinking what could be interesting. Maybe it could be a quest giver of some sorts, and I was thinking of a quest along the lines of that the player maybe has to plant like this tree, one of these huge trees, if that's possible, and then get maybe some resources there, and then the tree grows or appears, and then the player gets rewarded with something, maybe some units, when they get a tree to grow. I don't know if that's possible, but that would be my interesting idea for a quest and an NPC who does that.
It sounds it sounds a bit complicated for my system for sure, but it's possible when you put enough work to it.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, that was what I was thinking about, and in general, I think a sort of quest giver would be nice. Having or someone that you can talk to, and then they give you a task or quest that you can fulfill. I think that would be that would be a good fit for a free software project that is searching for volunteers.
Are you some do you do some in the free software movement? Do you do something like volunteer work? Like, do you actually go out there and plant trees and stuff like that? Because I was wondering.
Not that. Although that some of that part of it to do a lot of outside work, but it's mostly the gathering or getting volunteers for the software projects themselves. Because that's pretty hard. You have to get people to participate. You have to be well, a bit persuasive, and then even then it's often hard work to code something. So people have to stick to it. So yeah, that's I think that's the reason why it would be a good fit for a quest in a game. A task that's not, or maybe that's pretty easy from the outside, but you have to put a little bit of effort in to solve it.
Yeah, that's basically how it is. But
Yeah.
it's a funny but coincidence thing that I heard of a free software movement before. Not until you come, right? But I've heard of them before, and I do really have a high opinion of them because free software really do help a lot with this work because you have tools like GitHub, GitLab that you can share your projects with the world, and a lot of projects tend to be free, so you could express a lot of different creative works within this project and didn't get limited by how different software companies tend to make their code closed source instead of open source. I do actually know your foundation through a YouTuber called who's him again? Like I do have a tendency to forget about names sometimes, so I might need to want to. Oh yeah, Looksmith. So I know you heard about Looksmith before, but he did a lot of videos regarding technologies and talk about different stuff in his channel, not just about technologies, but about free software movement and about free ideology thinking in general. So I don't know if you heard about him. He do have some controversial idea for sure, but I think
I don't know him.
he's a very interesting person.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like his idea of making videos. He often put like a lot of memes into his video, but inside of each video, it will he did a lot of real talks to his audience. So,
yeah, I can see from the
a lot of
thumbnails.
jokes evolving into his videos. If you do have free time, do give him a watch because he do talk about your foundation and stuff like that.
Oh, you mean the Free Software Foundation?
Yeah, he does talk a lot about that, and he does talk about stuff like what's the name of it again? He talk about Suckless, yeah, Suckless developing. If you have heard of that.
No, I have not, but I can imagine what it is.
Yeah, so I mean, Suckless, the Suckless idea is, I think it's very similar to free software. Is that you kind of make your code a little bit lighter because a lot of different people now, they just use code from a library, so they need to import all the library component, right? The idea of Suckless is to just implement the most bare-bone things as possible for website to load fast. So website will be more open to a lot of different other computers, like a lot of different systems for them. Will be easier to use.
It's definitely connected, the two things. But so you get a lot of people in the free software movement that also are very minimalist. I think that's the right word.
Yeah.
Especially with Unix philosophy,
yeah.
do one thing and do it right. Yeah, like you said.
So yeah, that's how I heard about free software organization. It's just about that guy talking about you guys. So I think it's cool to mention details like that.
Yeah, it's very prevalent, and it's also I mean, you probably use OBS Studio, right?
It's part of the free software,
Yeah,
OBS is open source.
Free software. In Age of Empires, the Advanced Genie editor is free software.
That's true, and when it comes to, I guess a lot of things that is like a passion project, right? They tends to be free, so a lot of pupils will use them instead, and they don't need to be like closed source tool like Photoshop or anything. So they couldn't get used unless you pay for them, and you do have a good incentive to pay for those closed software, because they do actually offers you like some kind of functions, and depends on how popular it is, right? Instead of a niche program that might solve something but it's free, like in the free software program.
Oh, well,
Category,
free software can sometimes be better.
It is
depends.
better and more convenient to
Depends
use.
on the software, I guess. But
there's up and downsides to it, but I feel like with huge companies like Adobe, they might have a lot of resources to develop their tools, right? But for you guys, it's just a passion project. You don't really have enough funds, so that might be a problem.
Yeah, that's definitely not really a problem, because most people also don't really want to work on it as a job. But if you want to do it on a professional level, then the lack of funds can be a problem.
Yeah, believe it or not, though. I mean, realistically speaking, people still use you just because you develop people still use your product just because you develop a product, right? If there's like a better alternative, maybe you need to work harder on your product or have something funded so your product can keep on developing and stuff like that. So I think that's an argument to both sides of things.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of free software projects that are more mature, they get funding also on a more voluntary level, but they get sponsorships from different companies, like the other engine, Godot, the 3D engine. They get basically company funding from a lot of different sources, like developers, game developers, or companies that want to use the engine. Then they employ some full-time developers from it, which is pretty great. Also, that's not the usual case for free software.
Yeah, I mean, passion do adds a lot of incentives other than money, oftentimes, and oftentimes it could be a curse or like a blessing at the same time, in my opinion, because it could be a curse because sometimes I think there's a thing called feature creep. Maybe the developers want to do a certain ways that the public might not demand it. You know, there's
Yeah,
things like future creep. I think
that is true.
it's I guess it's familiar to you already.
Yeah, uh, it's a big problem because you also get um, the code becomes less maintainable and the performance goes down, and often the features aren't really get used much, so you just end up with lower stuff that you have to support now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was painting my map while we talk, but I do have the idea to add like a hedgerow, they act like a private garden for each household of this town. So, what do you think about it? Like
Yeah, I've seen that
hedgerows
audio.
in
Now
every
building,
section of the neighborhood.
yeah, a classic one family home style neighborhood.
Kind of feels like a how the U.S. suburb looks like, even though this is like a
Yeah,
medieval or fantasy settings.
medieval suburbia.
But yeah, I plan to make something like this. Just to, I mean, it's still fantasy, so I mean, you could do whatever you like, but at least make it look a little bit close to reality. So I kind of want to kind of follow it up. Kind of follows like a maybe make it looks like a German town, or make the aesthetic looks like a German town or a French town or something.
Yeah, like classic German town.
Yeah,
But
because
like contemporary German towns look a bit boring, I think. Um, but yeah, you got the right idea there.
yeah, I mean, this is how the fantasy's town look, but obviously we cannot replicate something like this in Age of Empires 2, no matter how hard you do, because I don't really plan to use custom graphics in this mod. So I kind of want to make it closely resemble as much as possible.
I now I have a little fun story to share, because there was someone in our development channel last week and today that made a stable diffusion tool for creating sprites. Maybe I can share with you in Discord. Maybe you can.
That might be a little bit game changing right there. I want to hear more about it.
Yeah, I don't know how advanced it is, and it's also doesn't have
you know the reason that I don't really use custom graphics, even though I might be able to have the the ability to add it.
I know, and it's probably not going to be ready before you're finished with your scenario, but I just found it very interesting, and
Yeah.
and I hope I can I also post the things?
Oh yeah, maybe it should just be a
hope
quick
that
post.
works. Oh no, it was. I have to download a GIF to work, but what he did was he trained his Stable Diffusion tool with the normal assets from Age of Empires, and then he created a bunch of derivatives with different themes. And maybe if I can, do I download, when I did download the GIF, where is it? There it is. I don't know. No, I hope it works. Okay, I've posted it on the channel.
Yeah, I could see that right now. That is. Well, what is this really how it works?
At least that's what I told it was.
It generates some sort of a geography
Yeah,
out of
that's
the original Age of Empires
yeah. From the original
sprite.
graphics, it takes the shape or the basic features, and then it translates them to other themes,
Hold on, this
which
might be
is
too good. This might be too
yeah.
good to be true.
It's very. I mean, if you look at it closer, it looks pretty rough, and I personally wouldn't use it in a game, but it's very interesting. And
What your favorite game assets? So this not just Age of Empires 2, or is it really just Age of Empires 2?
it is trained on the assets at Age of Empires 2. I think the sprites it generates are just PNGs, so you can download them and convert them to whatever format you want.
Yeah, I think I got mind blown by this because if I plan to develop a game in the future, this might be a tool that that might be useful to a lot of different projects, not just Age of Empires 2. So you can see how
it is
powerful
really
a
cool.
tool this might be. This Roman, this the template, right? This toys. So you could see different toys buildings. It looks rather solid. This the Roman architectures. This the there's not a lot of I guess texture when it comes to this mode. This looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, sometimes the textures look weird, but for I think he started with this like 2 weeks ago, or was it a month? And it already works pretty okay. So yeah, interesting stuff.
I do have as a junior developer, I only make like a website. So as a junior developer, I kind of have a huge prop to them because he made this kind of special tools that I could not make, honestly. But damn, that is impressive.
I have to see. I think it was he's in the Siege Engineers Discord too. I just don't know where I saw that.
There's a lot when it comes to Age of Empires 2 Discord. You have a different design Discord. You have your usual multiplayer Discord, right? There's a lot.
Yeah, I can't find it right now, but
I will follow this
he's
tool
doing
in the
it,
future
and
for sure.
it's pretty cool. And you
I'll
should
just
all give it a visit.
bookmark this for the future. It's pretty interesting to me. For now, though, I mean, it looks interesting. Maybe it could generate. Do you think that for the sake of the conversation, do you think that it might be able to transform Age of Empires to looking town like this into some sort of a fantasy theme, town like this where every building looks like a mushroom? I mean, as long as I guess the author make some sort of a template for it, to turn buildings into mushroom. I guess as long as something like this exists, it could work, right?
I think the major problem would be that the assets in Maplestories are viewed from the side, and in Age of Empires they're viewed from top down, and the Stable Diffusion might not be able to create something good from that. But in theory, yes, or maybe not something that is usable as is, but something that you could start with and then polish up and make something that's really good from it. with a lot of manual work.
So I was thinking that for tools like stable diffusion, they do train on a set of data sets instead of I mean, you do have real life pictures, but you do picture it in a data set, and you do have tools to transform those data set into like a 3D dimensional texture like this. But they do have a data set, and they do have some machine design tools or AI that could assist with those kind of stuff, or API. But I don't know. Maybe they just need to fine tune the parameters until they got a really nice, they could generate some sort of acceptable graphics. Do you think they need to fine tune it, or do you think they need to change it, manually for stuff like this in case of if you don't have like a subsequent, graphics to it?
It's this kind of thing is difficult to predict because
I don't think you and I don't really understand, right? Because we are not the
there's
developers. We are not
yeah.
really the developers to speak about stuff like this.
I mean, there's so much things that that could work, but maybe it would require still a lot of manual touching up for the assets so that it doesn't look weird. Like the assets that we see right now, that are generated are okay on their own, but if they are in a game alongside other assets, then they might look weird, and I don't think it's a really good viable option for some time. I don't think it won't be ready, but I think these tools could be used as a starting point to maybe get some ideas, maybe for some style or some basic theming. You could say, hey, generate me a lot of mushroom buildings, and then even if they look like crap, you can still say, hey, I like the shape of that. I'm gonna remake that properly.
No offense, but the garbage, the the tools also have like a garbage template, right?
Yeah, I've seen that.
So those are basically crap template, but you could see that
Yeah.
it still could generate a team behind it.
Yeah.
It does not it does not look fit, right? But you need to give it a try. I think
And
a lot of people
I mean,
always say it, right? Creativity, and
the good
when you
thing
talk about
about it
stuff
is,
like creativity or
yeah,
artistic work, you always need to give it a try, because you might not know what result may come. Like how you paint the pictures, or like how Bob Ross keeps saying that every mistake is or just happy little accidents. Bob Ross,
yeah.
right? Wonderful
And I
guy.
mean, it's the good thing is that it's just so easy to try things out without putting too much effort into it. And that's cool. Because even if you aren't an artist or don't have artist friends or can pay artists, you can do some basic stuff with it, and then even if it's not perfect, you can still use it.
A lot of people are getting angry. Like a lot of people who is right now working in art industries, and they're not happy that the AI is replacing their jobs, because they might do things better than them. If you don't know, I kind of generated this picture out of AI, out of curiosity. So I could show it to you. Although I kind of want to explain AI, I kind of want to experiment with different AI stuff in the future, but I would just refrain myself from doing so because I don't really have any incentive of doing it. But yeah, this one of my favorite characters in Elite Dangerous, in a game called Elite Dangerous, being generated by an AI in a style of anime. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But this is just one of the examples that I'm giving to you about my experiment using AIs. But yeah, but what do you think about AIs have the ability to change people's job in the future? Do they have to adapt to it, or do government have to solve this kind of stuff and let the AI don't really get people riled up about AI because they could be bad in the future for individual artists?
Well, it all depends on how it's done. If all artists get replaced by AI, but we still, or not really artists, if all of our work gets replaced by AI and we don't have to work anymore, then that's probably pretty good, I would say. The problem or the challenge is then how do the people who get laid off or lose their jobs are gonna get paid? And that's I think that's an important question, and also the reason why people are mad, because I don't think many people are generally against AI taking the stressful or hard or less meaningful jobs, and more like they don't respond well to the idea of being out of employment and not having any money.
But yeah, there's going to be a lot of problems in the future. So, do you have a? I'm just asking a personal question, but do you think there might be a solution to all of this, to make people more, dependent on the AI instead of being against it?
Well, the problem I could see, and that's because my background is IT security, is that people rely on these general purpose AI for important decisions, and then get the wrong answers, and then this creates giant security holes because everyone just takes the solution the AI is generating and not thinking about it. That could be a problem. But otherwise, I think it would be fine if if you think of it like a tool and not just a magic intelligence that solves all your problems. A tool that you can use wisely under the right circumstances. Because in the end, it's just like computers. Computers also automate a lot of stuff that we had to do manually, but they can do everything. And you just have to figure out what you can do.
It's like a stepping stone to our innovativeness, right?
Yeah. So it's not black and white. You still have to figure out how to use it effectively. And it's That's the problem. If you don't figure out how to use it effectively and just try to do everything with AI now, even if it doesn't work, then it could be even more problematic than not using AI at all. But we'll see. We'll see about it.
Yeah, we'll see about it, ladies and gentlemen.
What would you do with AI if you could use it for anything? What task would you automate?
I mean, basically, the idea of AI is that they do have limitless possibilities, right? So they could, in general, in the future, they could be used for everything. Like they could be used to generate like a different sort of work, or they could resolve your paperwork, or they could auto-generate code. In fact, some AIs are doing that right now, like the GitHub Copilot and stuff like that. But apart from that, you could say that apart from AI, there are going to be different technologies. Like we could have androids or different machines working for us in the future. As you could say, that technology is still in the works, but it's not like it's mass produced yet. There's still R&D about it, but there's got to be a lot of different elements in the future that we might be taken hold of, not just AI. So, we do have to be cautiously optimistic about our future, because it will come with a lot of benefits, but apart from it, there could be a lot of different social issues to how people would use it. For example, if people might use AI for nefarious use, for example, there might be something bad about it, and people could rise up against it and lock the AI down, for example. Then it would be no good to serve humanity, right?
Yeah, true. And I think the more interesting question would be, from a philosophical standpoint, what would you personally not let an AI do? So what would you still do yourself if an AI could do anything? Like, would you still make Age of Empires 2 scenarios like you do right now?
I think, yeah, mostly I could be a writer, writing about I could write about different stuff that let the AI generate the creative works for you. For example, I could still have ideas, about building a website or build a games, but I would just tell the AIs to do it, or I could tell my future, robots to take care of my housework, for example.
Yeah.
Now, in the future, they're not just going to be AI, so I'm just going to be mentioning about stuff like there could be, housework made and stuff like that. And, in the future, maybe we could even produce asexually to robots, who knows? But I'm just listing up ideas.
I think that's still a long time away. But yeah. I think that's the real question. What would we, if we had all this power, actually focus on? So if we could automate all the stuff we don't want to do, what do we focus on in the end?
I guess it just mostly comes to creative works and high-end job in the futures. Although we could come to singularities from what is called. It's called like if I recall correctly. Caddyshack points. We could reach Caddyshack 1.0, and possibly in the future, so robot might take care of the work for us. But we could see there could be a lot of class division. Maybe only the rich people could afford those said robots, or maybe we could have people who reject technology altogether. We might want to wait more on that, but on top of everything aside, it's not like our future would be more primitive, but it will only, more advanced.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, yeah, that's also the problem. If you have an AI, but it's controlled by one big company, company can basically control your life. That's the problem.
Well, everything comes to companies at the end of the day. You have different companies, albeit big or small. Maybe we could only talk about giant tech companies, but everyone start at some point, right? I mean, if you look at Amazon, or people who started Amazon, like how do I pronounce his name? Jeff Bezos, like the guy who made Amazon, right? He also have like a humble start, or Rockefeller also have a humble start, or Bill Gates, right? But they started somewhere, and they created an empire. It's not like they were started bad or anything, but I guess from time to time, when it comes to big technology companies, we could it could change. I think everyone could change at some point.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all big companies. I mean, I'm from the free software movement, so which is explicitly against this kind of stuff, that it's controlled by tech is controlled by big companies. So I don't know. It could go in another direction, but at least with AI, the OpenAI stuff is now. Was it bought by Microsoft, or no? It's still a foundation, but Microsoft sponsors them, so it's big company stuff right there. Yeah, we'll see how that works out, but I don't think it has to be this way.
You don't think what has to be what way?
That it's a single company with a single AI that controls anything. I think it could be more, what's the right word, diversified, or even, because it's community controlled even, or democratically controlled, where it's not like a product. The AI is a product that is sold, but more a public good, so to speak.
Yeah, very interesting insight.
Yeah, but right now it doesn't work this way, and we'll have to see what the next years bring in this regard. But nice scenery you built while I was talking on your stream.
There's some small village, not that's all, but I guess I'm following a pattern here.
This the farm stuff on the left is. Are you planning to do a big like field farming area too?
Yeah, mostly.
Like an estate.
I guess mostly in the Hennessy's areas they are hills and plain. So I'm trying to utilize the terrain to imagine how it would look like.
Yeah. Do you want to build like a big farming estate, or maybe just a field?
Yeah, I feel like a small town like this because well, players tend to build up, during the mid game or late game, so you could see how their town evolves.
Interesting.
So I guess it's just the starting point for now. You do have a town center in here, and you do have a crate which produce a special unit in here, which kind of represented in in the official games law. As you can see here, there's this special building is called Athena Peace Building, and Athena Peace is I guess she's the mayor of this town, so these her special buildings, and she's the instructor to all the bowmen in Hennessy's. So you could imagine her like a mayor in this town.
All right.
So yeah, that's the idea behind it. Not too much. You could say that Maplestory don't really have a lot of law unless you really look hard into it. And I guess it's like a good thing because it's more easily explainable and it's more easily to twist it.
Yeah, and I mean that's probably also the fun of designing a scenario for it, that you can just fill in the blanks and imagine.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of filling the blanks, it kind of reminds me that it's like reading a books, because when reading books, we cannot. It's not like a visual image that appears in front of you as you are reading through the story. You kind of visualize the,
You're right.
The
it
scenes
like
and
that.
stuff. It is in a similar vein.
True. And yeah, it's kind of transformative that you have a story in one medium and you translate it to another, well, not really another medium, but another game in this case, and then you don't have the same kind of limitations, but you can also do other stuff. It is very cool.
I mean, yeah. I think the ideas of modding games never gets old to me because I mean, when it comes to I guess when it comes to people that know a lot about modding some things, and there might be an audience actually behind the game to play your mods. It's very refreshing to share your ideas between the pupils. If you develop a game instead, right, that you start basically from zero, and there would be no starting audience to understand your game, so you might want to explain your games in a more formal way. But when it comes to I guess modding games like this, I could explain it in a more friendly Age of Empires 2 way that you might know.
Yeah, you have some sort of common ground or something like that you can play on.
Although yeah, I kind of like the idea of making a game because I would like to make one at some point, but I'm just piecing out ideas together on how I could make such games.
What kind of game?
I was thinking a lot about probably just your typical adventure RPG game since it's pretty easy to do. So I do have a secret. I do have a secret Discord where I list all my stuff, so you could see that I also list my ideas on top of this section.
RPGs would be, I think they would be pretty easy to make. At least I think of top-down 2D RPGs because there's so many great tools already available, like RPG Maker, Game Maker, and stuff.
Oh yeah, kind of close it like this. Yeah, I do have different games idea. Mostly, mostly though, those ideas are not well fetched together, and it might when I actually make a game, I need to brainstorm, different ideas to make it come a
Roguelike shit.
reality. Yeah, I kinda want to make a roguelike game as well. I kinda like the
Very
random
different from
elements of
that.
roguelike games. As you can see, the ideas that I have listed here, mostly is not really concrete yet.
But now I'm interested. How would you actually do roguelike chess?
Yeah.
Because I can't even think about a concept. How would that work? Like the basics or the premise of chess is that you start with the same pieces on each side.
Oh yeah, I might forget how I imagined this idea anyway, since it's like
Okay,
1 year ago. But I should have listed more. I should have listed more ideas when I should have created something like a Discord thread so that I could list my ideas out.
Yeah.
I might need to think a little bit about this one.
Now that I've seen it, the idea sounds so. If I'm being honest, the idea sounds so crazy to me that I'm immediately interested in what it would look like from the start, even without seeing the name of the game or how it actually looks like. But
yeah,
maybe that's
but it's my bad that I don't really, I don't really describe it that well. Back then. Basically, yeah, I would like this roguelike chess idea to become a reality, but right now I need to remember it. I did, I guess I could design it. I could imagine it in my mind at some point, but I tend to have forgetful memories. When it comes to memories, you always need to note stuff down before you forget about it.
Oh, the division, but takes place in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City.
Oh yeah, I played an RPG called The Division before, and I really like the RPG elements. So I figured out if I can make a game like this, but it takes place in Vietnam, it would be interesting because Vietnam is my home country.
I thought about a completely different game, the Ubisoft, the Division.
It is the Division. It is the Ubisoft Division. Yeah.
Okay.
It's an RPG, right? It's not like an first-person shooter.
Yeah, well, it's I think you would call it a loot shooter, not really an RPG, because the weapons you get are random. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a looter shooter, but I guess the looter shooter also falls into the category of a RPG. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
I do like that game, Division. I don't know why. It's just the concept of it being an RPG or a looter shooter, but taking place in the modern world. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Like I feel like for most FPS or game that take place with firearms, right? You always go with the first-person shooter style instead, but with Division is RPG, and they kind of make it like that deliberately, even to the dismiss of first-person shooter fans. They always thought that game was like a first-person shooter, and you could kill NPC with one bullet to the head, but it's actually not.
And the setting of Vietnam is also pretty interesting.
I was thinking of I was thinking of like a a division game, right? But taking place in the settings of the Vietnam War during that era.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see if there's like a different factions taking place in Ho Chi Minh City when it was controlled by the US. There would be the rival factions called Viet Minh and other factions like the Republic of Vietnam and stuff like that. They will form their own factions, and it's your choice to choose between one or different factions, and you can make your own choices.
Yeah, could be pretty interesting with maybe the Tet offensive as a scenario background.
Yeah,
or something like
could
that.
be. But I recall the Tet offensive was in the north. But yeah, it could be interesting though whether or not it's in the north or in the south. I think it would be an interesting idea. But with that aside, I do have I do have different ideas when it comes to games.
I actually meant more in general the Vietnam setting is underutilized, not just the Vietnam War, or not really Vietnam. Also, other Asian settings are underutilized, except maybe Japan, because Japan makes a lot of games. But
yeah, well, in the case of Vietnam War, you do see a lot of games also made about Vietnam Wars, right? But they're always in the eyes of the Americans, not the Vietnamese, because well, not really. We don't have a lot of Vietnamese game developers.
You think that I know one game at least, and that was what's it called, Flappy Bird.
Yeah,
That's Vietnamese, right?
That infamous game, yeah.
I
Although
remember.
it got removed later in the App Store just because the creator doesn't really like the harassment he got after the successful of Flappy Bird, and it was like a sad story.
Yeah, which is a shame. Why would you harass someone over? I don't even know. Why would you harass someone in general, but why over a game? And
I mean,
such
he doesn't really get arrested. What do you mean?
I don't know where I'm going with. Let's just. What I wanted to ask was what other developers are there in Vietnam? I mean, I probably don't know any of the games, but are there any development studios or something like that?
Yeah, there's like a game called Axie Infinity. Have you heard about that game?
Is that the blockchain thing?
Yeah, blockchain NFT games that are made by.
Yeah, I heard about
It's
that.
made by a Vietnamese studio.
Oh God. Well, okay.
Yeah, I also hate NFTs, so.
Oh no. Do you have any other professional developers in your country?
I kind of forgot their studio names. Oh yeah, Sky Mavis. Okay, I kind of remember their name now. Sky Mavis was the developer of this game. Yeah. As you can see, I guess they are an international company now. But where apart from that though, we do have Vina Games. I guess they do make games, but not really. They are more like a publisher.
Yeah,
Vina Games.
I never heard of them. Sorry.
They are like a publisher, but their games are really infamous because they do make a lot of pay-to-win games. Honestly.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't really like to talk about them. I guess it's their official website. there you go. You could see video games.
Yeah.
I mean, I should talk about them because they are pretty big with their games, but they do have a lot of pay-to-win games. So yeah.
Oh, we don't have to talk about it. I was just interested because I know at least some parts of the Vietnamese gaming scene are pretty big, and to the point that I know about him, not just in Age of Empires, but also League of Legends and so on.
What do you
I don't know.
know about League of Legends? About
I don't know anything about League of Legends. I just know that I sometimes get recommended streams from Vietnam or with Vietnamese titles, and then they are about LOL or Age of Empires. And I don't know why Google recommends them to me, honestly. Well, maybe because I click.
It just comes to Google stuff, you know. I mean,
Sometimes
it's kind of
it just
embarrassing to
wants
show
me
my
to
YouTube right now, but I'm just going to show it to
brush
you.
up my Vietnamese.
So, as you can see, there's a lot of irrelevant stuff got recommended to me as well. Mostly about, different topics. As you can see, I follow a lot of gaming-related or political-related stuff. But sometimes there are things that I don't want to see. Like some irrelevant topics about France that I don't want to see. Or some random streamer playing Minecraft that I don't want to see. You know. Especially when it comes to things like that. So when it's like the Google YouTube algorithm only thinks about one thing, is that the category of the stuff that you watch, right? Well, with that category, they would just recommend stuff from that category. They just don't care of the specific topics that you might like. You might play strategy games called Age of Empires, but they keep recommending you StarCraft stuff. And that would be hell annoying, don't you think?
Yeah, well, so that's my experience with Vietnamese streams mostly, that I get recommended them, and then I watch maybe 5 minutes of it and get confused.
Right, but if you watch it at the end of the day, I guess the algorithms, they could consider the algorithm works, and they would just keep continuing doing something like that in the future.
But I think I have set, at least on my YouTube account, I have set the settings, the recommendation settings, so that the history gets deleted after 3 months. So the recommendation algorithm can only use the last 3 months of what I'm watching.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could work. I guess it could work, but the deep state of algorithms, you cannot really change it. It works very differently from the past, when we
maybe the setting is the reason why I get recommended Vietnamese stuff. We Google then thinks, oh well, I don't know what to recommend, so let's recommend some Vietnamese gaming stream or Vietnamese scenario editing.
Sorry for interrupting. I kind of want to talk more about that topic with you. So yeah, you get recommended about I guess about Age of Empires 1 that the Vietnamese are playing, right?
Yeah, Age of Empires 1 is very often recommended to me. Often Vietnamese. I mean, almost always Vietnamese, because I don't know if there's an English esports scene for Age of Empires 1. Probably not. It's just
so for Age of Empires 1, it's just mostly Vietnamese. Oftentimes we do play on a DE as well. It's like a newer version, but we really prefer the older version. It's like a national game. You could say, right? A lot of there's a lot of weird game that becomes like national games for a a lot of people worldwide. You could see that for US they do have different games, but they mostly play first-person shooters. For Asia, they typically play mobile games instead. There's demographics for it. Just still stereotypically, a lot of other countries do play a lot of different stuff. For example, in Japan, Dragon Quest is kind of popular, but not in the West. There's a lot of different games like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more niche here, and even in Europe, there's different tastes between the different countries. Like, it's different from the US, although you still get a lot of stuff from the US that's popular here, but France and Germany is mostly more leaning towards PC games, especially strategy games like Age of Empires. And UK and England is mostly more focused on console, or more like the Americans, which is interesting. It's you also then get different games made in these countries. Like I think the German developers are the only ones that are still regular making adventure games, classic adventure games like the LucasArts stuff and RTS. RTS are still popular in Germany and still get made here, even though they are not that great.
Which kind of studio made a RTS game in Germany? May I ask?
I have to check. It's still a long while ago. Do you know Iron Harvest?
Iron Harvest. I do heard of that name, but I don't really look at the gameplay.
It's more. It's not like Age of Empires. It's more like Company of Heroes, like that. But it was made by a German developer who previously made adventure games. King Art is the developer.
So does that RTS have some elements from different RPG games mixed with strategy games, real-time strategy games elements?
It is. I have only played the demo, and that was a long time ago. It's very similar to Company of Heroes, so or what's it called, Warhammer Dawn of War, where you have control points and you send your units around and you don't have much base building, and more like army management. And it's also not that great. It was not well received, but it's an okay game. It's
you
just...
gotta badmouth them like that, even though they're German.
I mean, you have to be honest. You can't just say nice things. And I mean, it's still an okay game. I think from the demo that I've played, they did a pretty good job. But in comparison to Company of Heroes, the Company of Heroes is just so much better. Also, the idea they had is pretty cool. They had a setting of World War One, but with mechs, so big mechanical machines fighting alongside infantry, and very cool scenario. But the game is a bit weird, and
this battle is lost.
So it didn't get a lot of traction. Also because strategy games are not that popular outside of Germany, so
it kind of looks like a board game mixed with strategy games.
Yeah.
Right? At least the
I
settings.
mean, what you see there,
It looks
that's
like
the
a
overworld map. That is
steampunkish.
in-game, yeah.
It looks good. What's so bad about it?
It plays a bit awkwardly, so it's not smooth, and I guess you would have to see the comparison to Company of Heroes. I don't know if you've played it. Probably not.
Yeah, no.
But
I guess people
Company of
expectation, right? Maybe it
Company
could
of Heroes
have been a Company of
is
Heroes, but it was executed worse.
Yeah. I mean, the point is, Company of Heroes is much more polished and plays much better and is more fun. So, in comparison, Iron Harvest is just average. And that's not the problem of the game, it's just unfortunate for the developer. But I think the game was financed via Kickstarter, so they didn't go bankrupt from it. They might even do a sequel that is better, but yeah, we'll see.
Different strategy games. All the talk about different strategy games make me want to play something new. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do find map painting in Age of Empires 2 is very fun. It's like because
Yeah,
I did some painting back in the days, and for some reason I just don't paint anymore. I just find the process a little bit hard. But well, you could see how similar it is in Age of Empires 2 to map painting to painting in real life. So I just kept doing it.
Very relaxing.
Yeah, it's like a very relaxing, and on top of that, you can make it into a real game. So why not? It's like a game engine built on top of a canvas.
Yeah, imagine you could paint something and then it comes alive. That's basically what you're doing right now.
So yeah, have the idea of
live,
having this
you can play with
town layout for now. I guess I could change it in the future, but it looks solid. We could just add more details, and it looks solid. But this Hennessy's, if you have any ideas, comment down below. I could change it to however you like. I mean, according to my ideas only. But if you have any suggestion. Also, that's this area that I want to show you. Kind of forgot about that. But yeah, the stream is kind of lagging behind. But this is the area I want to show you. It's like a volcano, and you'll find it cool.
Yeah. What would you think about? I don't know how much you want to stream today, but we could do a final tour of the map at the end of the stream to show everything off.
Yeah, I kinda.
What do you think about it?
I kinda want to, stream around 3 to 4 hours as usual. But I'm gonna have a vacation tomorrow, so I need to sleep well for the rest for the journey. So yeah, we could end it early, or we could go into a little bit more detail. Maybe I stream 1 more hour if you would like. That's the schedule.
I mean, we are. What's the time? It's 3. Oh yeah, it's already 3 hours and almost half an hour into the stream.
Yeah,
so
and, we did have some technical problem at the beginning.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you think? Should we wrap it up with a tour of the map as it's now?
It depends. If you don't if you plan to leave soon, then I might have no incentive to continue the stream. It depends on you.
Yeah. So then let's do it. I think the tour will also it might also take some time, so we can use it as a nice wrap up.
I mean, personally, I kind of want to add more, because I guess the result is not much, but we do came up with like a template or like a slate to NPCs. So I mean, it's pretty cool, and we already showcased on how the new mechanics work, like how you chop down those giant trees. Very cool. I kind of want to open the scanner parser, but I couldn't right now. I couldn't risk my computer burning. Funnily enough, right? We already disconnected like 2 times today. So, and every time we want to showcase something, the YouTube stream we just get separated into multiple parts. But it's just funny. I think that part is always funny. The YouTube part of the thing always got separated. Why Twitch is just working as normal,
Yeah, YouTube is weird for streaming.
It's weird for streaming for now, but that's where the most audience at. But and I can archive my videos instead of Twitch, right? And I really do want to archive my videos because why not? But Twitch doesn't really allow something like that. Maybe they have a insufficient data storage or something. That's what I think. Oh yeah, there's also another stream down in the plateau of Parion. I think it looks pretty cool. It got a stream down into a giant swarm-like area like this, which we will explore in the future. But what do you think about swarm? What do you think about the changes we should make to this place?
I thought you meant about swarms in general. On the map, I like the idea, or maybe I would imagine it not just being a swamp, but also some sort of river delta that maybe is a bit marshy. That could be interesting. But yeah, I like the idea.
Well, it's undeveloped for now, but when we touch it, it goes. Well, where it goes. But also, I need to paint a lot of shores to the rivers because it doesn't come automatically, as you can see. But it's still developing. As you can see, finished shores looks more like this. It looks more like in this area where there are more, there are a little less contrast, but more blending, more terrain blending, and you could see there's different levels of depth between the wet sand and the dry sand, something like that. Also, I kind of model the shores to look a little bit like a. Because I've been to a lot of beaches before in Vietnam, I kind of go to a lot of beaches like in Nha Trang or in Da Nang. They have sandy beaches like this, and I do have a picture in mind already. So this is how they looks like. So yeah, it's pretty fun to paint those beaches alongside of this plateau as well. Blends almost perfectly, and the most fun thing is about the capturable objectives, and this idea will only expand in the future. For now, you can only summon units out of that, but in the future I plan to add like a laser cannon. So this is what I'm gonna show to you. It's gonna be really interesting, so just watch this. This is where I put my stuff. This the Gloria Victis categories, and I kind of follow another creators, and this is how they make their maps. I kind of follow like a similar style. Where is it? Info miscellaneous. Yeah, so I kind of have an idea to make something like this. So let me test. Let me test the map. All right. Let me save the map a little bit and then test it. Because I already added like a button on there, but it's not really activatable yet, as you can see. For each site, right, there's also this function called activate radiant beams. And it costs like one charge per shot, but this will when you click on this, it will be like a toggle on or off. But if you toggle this on, and the building will have like a special attacks that it will be like this. So just watch this. This also another idea got developed by another creator, so it's not like my original idea, so to keep that in mind.
I mean, you can be inspired by them for sure.
I mean, I do like the ideas that people use each other ideas. It just looks pretty cool in different, I guess, in different scenarios, right, where you might utilize this. So yeah, it looks like the tower is shooting a laser from far away, and it deals damage to an area. Looks very ridiculous, but you can toggle this on or off.
Oh, that is
nasty.
pretty cool.
You can see that the tower has like 40 range. Pretty insane, huh? Insane stuff. But yeah, I plan to add this sort of stuff into the map itself as well. But of course, there are 3 different capturable sites, so I will need to ask the help from Skinner Parser again to convert those Python script into something that is functionable like this. But I think that idea is gonna be pretty cool in the future. But there's also one more ideas. Sorry that I'm going too long with this, but these are just future ideas, so I do want to list them out. You know?
Oh no, it's pretty interesting. At least
So yeah, I mean, that's one more ideas that you can teleport units between different sites. Although I do have an idea on, I do have a, not really like an idea, but it's like a, I do have a question on how I do stuff like this. Right? I forgot the English word for it, but I do have a question on whether or not I should articulate on this problem. Yeah, I should articulate on this problem on how I implement stuff like this. So this is the teleport button. If you haven't noticed, there are like a special mark zone, like this fountain area, this fountain looking area like there. Here it's actually a mark zone. You don't notice those fountains on a different side like so. I'm gonna show you the whole map. Yeah, this fountain is also here. So the idea is I don't know whether or not this should be a toggle, but let's just assume this like a toggle. When you toggle this button on, you can transport or quote unquote teleport units that are standing on this section. Although with each unit it costs 1 charge, but you can teleport unit between each different section. So it's gonna create some interesting place, like how you can teleport units onto like a territory that nears like an enemy, and you can ambush them that way. And I think that idea would be cool if you could transfer unit into a different site. Although it should be only that option should only be available if a certain site is captured. It's captured by you. So that's the idea, to teleport units between different sites if you have captured it, and it also gives an incentive for you to capture multiple sites at the same time. So yeah, what do you think?
I was waiting patiently for you to end. I think it's cool. It reminds me of there was something like that in Age of Mythology, which was a building where you could garrison units into and then place another building somewhere else in the map, or the same building, and then you could ungarrison them from the other building. So it worked like a teleport, but by garrison ungarrison. And it's pretty fun there, and
I do have another
possibly.
idea, though. Did you want to hear it?
Sure, go ahead.
So that's it's my game lagging right now. Oh, god damn it.
Oh, no.
That's his stream ended, everybody. But I do have another idea, though. So I might want to show this to you. Victoria Iceland map. Maplestory, yeah. So this is the map of the world, as you can see. So there's gonna be a faction called Nautilus. If you do notice, they are here in this section of the map. Although I kind of want to show it to you in game, actually. So this will be a little bit more special. But I'm gonna open Maplestory, so I'm gonna show it to you in game. If you don't mind, we could extend this for, I guess, for 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna show this to you first. Nautilus is like a faction over here, and they're a little bit special because they are like a fleet. They are like a pirate fleet. Can you imagine the idea? They are like a pirate fleet, and they don't really they don't really have a base of operations. Instead, their base are like fleets, and they can move their fleets around. And my idea is that their ships would be acting like buildings. Yeah.
Yeah. That is
I guess
really good idea.
Show it to you in game. How it looks like actually the place itself. Yeah, the return score to Nautilus over here. That's this is the pirate island. Now that I'm showcasing to you in first person. You can see that those they are consist of really small island, and so they cannot actually build buildings in the Age of Empires too, right? But instead they have ships like this that you can go inside. So I imagine they also act like buildings, but although you cannot, make interior in Age of Empires 2, and it would be a hassle of doing something like that. But of course, you can go with the idea that ships act like buildings and explore units outside of them. And it is a cool idea, I think.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I would have to see how that looks in game or how that works, but it's pretty refreshing and interesting. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's the idea that I imagine in the future. But there would be more though, because I haven't even mentioned about Sleepywood, and that place will just gonna be a little bit more intense. But I'm still brainstorming ideas about Sleepywood, so you might want to wait for about it in the future. But for now, those are the future ideas that I might be implementing. So. Yeah, there you go. Update to the project itself. This is the Sleepywood place. As you can see, this is like a dungeon area, so it's gonna be full of evil monsters. And in the future ideas, I have an idea that there will be like an evil faction that took place, and you have different players, right? They could choose like a decision to side with that evil factions, or they would choose a decision to ban with other players against that evil factions. But there will be internal politics as well if you go more into the games and how it works in the future. But with more gameplays, it comes with more ideas. It comes with more gameplays. It just doesn't come naturally. So I want to think more time. I want to spend more time to think about how do I implement those kind of ideas for now.
I mean, everything you said is pretty cool and could evolve into something interesting. My only concern would be that how to fit all of this onto the Age of Empires map.
Yeah, that's true, right? By making it
because it's
I
a
was
lot.
thinking about implement a lot of stuff, but try to make it as streamlined as possible and as simple as possible, so people can only play 1 to 2 times for them to understand it.
Yeah. So if you're in the audience and want to see how this gets done and what gets made out of that, you should stick around. And
yeah, stick around, because I don't really have a huge audience, but I do want to share my ideas to a lot of people like you. So my incentive to keep streaming like this is just to have interactions and to present my ideas to a lot of people, because I don't really have anyone to share this with.
Yeah. I mean, it's you have a YouTube audience, right? So I think they're interested, even if they don't watch live. They can enjoy it, and I'm always enjoying it. I'm always enjoying hearing about AoE2 and scenario editing and fun weird stuff. So I guess I'm the right target audience already.
Yeah, just one last funny pictures. Just got for that where we dropping. One last funny picture for you, but this has been me, see. And yeah, thanks for Openage for engaging in today's conversation with me. Because I do really enjoy talking to people like you. Try to articulate, different problems, and we do talk about a lot of stuff like politics, or it might be philosophy, it might be anything. I'm open to everything, so feel free to join my Discord below and engage with me on one-on-one conversation, because I do find it really engaging, and it does make the content a little bit more interesting and entertaining as well.
Yeah, thanks for the praise.
Yeah, and I will follow. I guess I will follow your Openage channel in the future. Or if you have an idea, I would suggest that you might maybe make like a separate channel that you might do more casual stuff in. If you want to stream in the future, because I feel like you are the sort of person that I feel like you want to do casual stream, but instead you have a more formal channel like this. You might want to make a new channel or stuff like that.
Honestly, personally, I wouldn't want to stream because it's for me it would be very stressful. But yeah, maybe we'll do stuff for Openage in the future, also with the other people for the project. Maybe, but we'll see.
You
we'll
just
see
want people to know about your project, right? You don't really have any other incentive?
Not really. I don't know what other incentives we could have by we don't.
For me, it's just fun, but for you, it's just to promote this kind of stuff. Yeah.
We already do this project for fun, and don't really have incentives for it to get really popular or making a lot of money. We just enjoy coding things, and that's I think that's fine. That's sometimes you things don't have to have a deeper meaning, and that's cool.
So I'm just gonna leave you onto this video description so people could check your content out. I think that
Great.
could be pretty cool. Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, no, I'm really getting tired.
Yeah, well, same here as well, since it's late. But right now, I guess that's it for now. I was about to say something, but I forgot. But that's been me and Zui, right? Updating you with the project Gloria Victis. I think it's gonna be an interesting mod, and I'm in the future. I do have people to play this with. As I intended to share it with the community I know on Discord over here. They do play a lot of different Age of Empires game. And it's just gonna be it. So and we are waiting for the Rise of a Roman DLC. Let's just wait for the DLC to see how it will be. And cannot wait for that. I guess I will wait for one more week. Wait for the review as well, and to see if there's gonna be a new editor added. Maybe I need to buy the DLC or not, as I want to create more mods in the future. But yeah, that's it for now. We'll say bye to the audience, and say bye to Mr. Openage Dev. I really enjoy his company. So, and but it's gonna be the usual. It's gonna be the usual. So that's it for now. Hope you like the video, subscribe, and like the video and stuff like that. I don't really want to beg, but if you subscribe and like, and I will have more interaction in the future, and I really want to speak more with people like you. That's it for now, and thanks for watching. Hope you have a good wonderful Saturday, and we'll see you in another stream of Gloria Victis mod design. But for now, as always, humanity first. Stay safe, everybody.